Yeah.
Welcome, everyone. Rick and I are here today. We are so happy to welcome you into our home. I am making something that I absolutely love to make today, and it's going to be homemade chili. We'll give you a list of ingredients that I put in, but I couldn't give you cups and spoons in that because I do everything different each time. So first, I would like to start talking about the tower garden because all the fruits and veggies except the carrots are from my tower garden. This is where our tower garden is in growing. Remember, we started this, what are we on, about week 4 or 5 now? And you see how it's progressing. So we actually are going to use some arugula and some microgreens next week to do a nice Christmas salad for you, because I want you guys to start thinking about what you want to cook for Christmas. And I'll give you all kinds of tips on how to do that. But today, the vegetables that we are going to be using in our chili came straight from our garden, our tower garden, when it was outside. Some of the items we froze, some are still turning red. And I just am very excited to tell you how I do this. So when I'm going to give you a little story about my brother, he was very sick with lung cancer and he had trouble eating, but he loved to eat chili. So I decided that I was going to make him chili almost regularly so he would eat it instead of eating canned, because when you're fighting cancer, you need all those good vitamins and that in your system. So I started adding all kinds of crazy vegetables to my chili and he absolutely loved it. Now you're seeing a picture of, I did a little shot of my pot with the vegetables that I grew. And I'm even adding some other vegetables that were already in the freezer in my chili. So my way of getting my brother to eat healthier while he was sick and didn't have much of an appetite, this is how I did it. So I want to share it with you because I've been cooking chili for a very long time like this. And every time I make it, it tastes different. And when the kids find out I'm having chili, they want to come over and help eat it. And the one thing nice about chili is when you're done making it, you can make it thinner, thicker, you can add noodles, you can pour it over noodles, you can add chili dogs. It's such a good variety. Normally I start out with 4 pounds of hamburger. Today, we're gonna start with 2 pounds of ground meat. And I'm gonna tell you ground meat because we have used deer meat, you can use any type of ground meat. If you don't want meat in it, then you don't have to put meat in it, but this is how we make ours. So we have already browned our ground meat just to speed up the process here. And I want to share some different types of vegetables that I grew on the tower garden that will be going into our chili today. You can see here that I have an array of tomatoes sitting here. And I wanted you to see my bowl of tomatoes that I still had. If you can see this, remember when I picked these and I talked about how green they were? Well, these have been sitting in my garage. It's nice and cool in my garage, and they are literally turning red. So these are the tomatoes. I'm going to use fresh tomatoes. You can use canned tomatoes. You can use diced tomatoes. You can use what you want, but these came off of my tower garden. So I want the nice fresh taste, okay? Then we also have peppers that we are going to, these peppers grow on my tower. They will be added to our chili today. Over here, onions and carrots are a root vegetable, so they do not grow on a tower garden. But all of the peppers we have pre-cut, and I'm going to show you how to get children or people to eat these vegetables without even knowing they're in your chili. Over here, I have this zucchini grew during the summer and we just shredded it. And so now we have shredded zucchini and I have some carrots that are going to go in. And I'm not taking the time to chop any of this. That's my trick. The other item I'm adding, there you go, Ben, is remember when we roasted some pumpkin for a salad? Well, I roasted the whole pumpkin and I had that in the freezer. So I'm going to add some roasted pumpkin to my chili. Now you guys might all be sitting here going, yuck, 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 but this is going to be really good. So the first thing I have in my blender, I have already blended up, but we had put some tomatoes and peppers and things like that. We also have jalapenos that we grew on the tower garden. And I actually am going to give this tray to Rick to start. Yes, please. He's going to slice it for me. But here's the thing with the chili. I took some notes here. Here's the health benefits of what's going into your chili. The pumpkin you have is a source of vitamin A, beta carotene, protein, fiber. Bell peppers, they are rich in many vitamins and antioxidants, especially vitamin C and various, I don't know what that word is, but it's going to be good. It's carotenoids. I don't know what that is. I'll look that up and let you guys know. For this reason, they have several health benefits, such as improved eye health and reduced risk of several chronic diseases. Well, that sounds like a win to me. And all the bell peppers are excellent addition to any healthy diet. I love bell peppers. I don't know about you guys, but I love them. Tomatoes, they are great they are great source of vitamin C, potassium, folate, and vitamin K. Zucchini, it's a very versatile squash, rich in vitamins, minerals, and plant compounds. I love zucchini. And in many offer several health benefits ranging from improved digestion to a lower risk of heart disease. So zucchini is really good for your bones, thyroid, and prostate. And then of course your carrots, they have fiber and potassium, vitamin A's and B's and C's and all that. We know how good they are. So I am very thrilled to show you how to do this recipe that I have. So we're going to talk a little bit about the beans. Now you're going to see I have 5 different kinds of beans here. I'm going to kind of separate them so you can see. Red beans, black beans, kidney beans, chili beans, this bean, that bean. Nobody knows what bean is best for you. So what I did today is I bought one of each, and I already took the tops off. So this is like a black bean. This is a chili red bean, and I buy them in the sauce already because there's some seasoning in them. If you don't want that sauce in there, don't buy them with the sauce. Just rinse them and add your own seasoning. Okay, and I do mild chili sauce because I do add some of my own. This is another red bean. This one here is a kidney and pinto bean. You guys can put whatever you want. I grew up using the Brooks chili beans, but as I'm getting older, I like adding other beans. So we know that we like beans in our chili. So we're gonna go ahead and put all these into the chili. I'm gonna let Rick do that for me now. I can have him multitasking here while I'm talking. Is that okay? All these can just be dumped right into the pot. While he is doing that, I'm going to talk about the vegetables because I have, okay, this is going to sound really crazy. I know it's time to make chili when I have a bunch of sauces in my refrigerator that need to be used up. So I start filling my blender with sauces, and this is the way I hide my vegetables. So in here we have some green peppers and things that I have already blended, and we're going to dump those right into the chili. I'm gonna walk over there and do that for you. So and you know what? I make this big mistake all the time. I never have a big enough pot. I know, isn't that terrible? So now this bowl with the onions in it, normally I would brown my onions with my meat, but because I don't want my grandkids to know I have onions in there, I'm dumping all this into my blender. Now, I have some salad dressing here that I don't want to go to waste. I know you think I'm crazy. Here's some more salad dressing. I don't like things going to waste. So I just dump everything into my chili and none of it goes to waste. This is some homemade salad dressing I had extra of. That's going in. So back when we were making our tomatoes salsa and that, we ended up with some tomato juice. So we're going to add, and I had it in the freezer, so I'm just going to add that to my blender. Why should we waste anything? I came from a very large family, and my mother did not waste anything, and that's kind of where I get this from. So, and she started doing this in her blender to make cooking for 8 children go faster. Well, when I realized how she did this, I did it to cook faster, but then I realized my kids were getting better vegetables in there because they didn't know they were in there. So I'm going to turn this on. It might get a little loud. And there we go. Now we're ready to dump this one into the blender. See how easy it is to add vegetables because you're adding nutrition to it and nobody even knows it. Okay. Uh-oh, I think we got too small of a pot going again. We always do this. We get by halfway and then we have to add more, transfer everything to a larger pot. Okay, here go my carrots and my zucchini. And I'm gonna add my pumpkin to this. And you know, this pumpkin's been roasted, so it's gonna add a little bit of a nutty flavor in there. How good is that gonna be? Okay, let's see, what else do I have here? That I have some ketchup that's almost empty, so I'm gonna go ahead and add that in here just to clean out my refrigerator. And you know what's really good about this is you can just rinse that a little bit with some water and shake it up and you get everything out of that bottle. And that saves you a bunch of money. Okay, I think we have enough in there. Let's see if this will blend or if we need more tomato juice. I think we're gonna need a little more tomato juice because those carrots. So I have a whole nother cup of tomato juice left from when I made my sauces this summer. You guys see how easy it is to use up leftovers? I tell you, it's so easy and you don't waste anything. Got a little heavy with the vegetables there. Okay, I'm gonna turn it up loud, so give me a second. I will tell you that I am using a Vitamix, and that pretty much blends up everything. So when I add my tomatoes in, it will blend up the, I want to make sure all the lumps are clear in there. It will also blend up all the skins on the tomatoes, which is really nice. Yeah, I think we need a bigger pot. I think we're mixed up pretty good here. I think Rick is now taking the plunge. Now this kind of looks orange and you're like, the chili is red. Well, because this recipe is going to give us a little bit more liquid, we are going to add canned tomato paste to thicken things up. So I'm going to go not put this in the pot because Rick is getting a bigger one. And we're going to probably have to refocus the camera so when he does that. So anyway, I also have here, this is some tomato sauce that Rick and I made over the summer. And this also, you know, all these tomatoes, this recipe is so easy that next summer, we're going to have to like really share. I wasn't doing cooking shows then, but I'm going to share with you how to make this tomato sauce. And it's so good. Now, when you make it, it has carrots and things in it. And you can leave it with those nice chunks of carrots or onions. Or if you want to put it through a blender or a food processor and get that out of there, make it smooth, you can do that also. So as soon as I can pop this lid off, let me grab a tool here. Keep the lid off of that. Okay, Rick is going to open this for me. And I'm going to go over by the pot and see if we're still in camera view here. And add this. You can see how big this all got. Can we see the pot okay in the camera?
Yeah.
See it?
Yep.
Okay. That's the camera if we need to. So you see how this 2-pound batch of chili is turning into a mega batch. Now, we're going to take this out because that didn't blend. Yeah. I didn't blend it long enough. So we're just going to take a couple of the lumps out so the kids don't know there's peppers in there. There you go, babe. And then, you know, my tomato sauce, I like for it to be a little liquidy with no lumps in the chili. So I'm putting my tomato sauce into my blender to blend up those lumps for when I made it. At this point, you could even add these tomatoes I had cut from the, just cut them this morning. They turn green in the garage. Nice, cool place. So I'm just going to place them in there with all of that to give it a little more. And I'm going to, I did not get the jalapenos. And the peppers. He's got more peppers here.
Don't touch the jalapenos.
Don't touch the jalapenos. Okay, guys, I've been warned. So I'm using 2 large jalapenos out of the garden and 2 small. I hope that's not too much. Look at how beautiful that blended. You know, I got some tomato paste all open, ready to put in here, and it doesn't look like I'm gonna need it. This is still thick. You never know when you're using these fresh tomatoes, sometimes it likes to get real runny. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Doesn't that look good? I don't know. You think we need that? I guess we'll go ahead and add the tomato paste to it because we have it opened up. I have a large can here, so that I opened up, but it'll give that nice red look to it. And Rick's going to keep stirring this for me because this is just looking so nice. So the big thing about cooking chili that I want to tell you about is I like cooking it, letting it simmer on the stove while I'm cleaning or whatever I'm doing. But the next day is when it tastes so good because all those flavors have blended. Now, my son prefers to do it right then and there because he wants it to be fresh. So it just is your opinion on how you want to do this. So how are we looking? Do we need any more tomatoes or do you think it looks good? Okay, so the boss thinks it looks good. So if he thinks it looks good, it must be good, right? So because we haven't tasted it yet, do you have a spoon to taste that? We need to see how much more chili powder we want in. So some people like it very spicy and some don't. But I'm also going to give you a secret ingredient is we're going to add some cocoa powder. Mm-hmm. I think I can use some chili sauce. Got a little bit of a zip, but there's just something about chili powder that adds a different flavor to it. So I'm just going to sprinkle some in. I'm going to take my Hershey cocoa over there so you can see me put the chocolate in. And you don't have to buy Hershey's cocoa, it's just what I have on hand. So I literally, camera's that way. Yep. Oh, yeah. This is hard, guys. I'm left-handed. I'm doing everything right-handed. I just sprinkle the chili powder in. I let it simmer. Then I taste it to see how I want it. And what a great day to be making this. I don't know where you guys are watching from, but it is cold in St. Louis. I'm just going to add a couple little sprinkles of cocoa powder in here. Something else that I learned many, many years ago from a gentleman was in order to keep the acid down in your cooking in your tomato sauce and that is just add a sprinkle of sugar to it and kind of cuts on that acid. So if you're looking to feel like you need, it's too acidy with all those tomatoes in it, you can do that. So I hope that you guys loved what I did today. So when you're doing your chili, add your fresh vegetables to it, stick it through a blender, throw your tomato sauce in here, blend it up, do anything you want. The kids will never know it's in there, and they will benefit from the nutrition of this chili like there's no tomorrow. Excuse me, I inhaled part of my bite of food. Let me get a drink. Sorry about that. The other thing is I always add a sprinkle of cocoa powder to my chili. Sometimes when I just have chocolate chips on hand, I'll add that, and that kind of cuts the sweetness. But the cocoa powder is better for you. I'm going to rinse out this container and add the juice to all this. I'm not afraid to add extra liquid because it will thicken as it sits overnight. How's it tasting now? You guys wouldn't believe how many the freshness in that, how good that is. I am so sorry I choked on something there. That tastes so good. I have water, thanks. I am going to have Rick help me clean this up because I want to show you what we did on our dessert for you today. Okay, so I didn't make them, Rick did. We made some protein bites. And you guys remember, we talk about these every single week. We're kind of shuffling here. Okay. Maybe I'll stop coughing now. These are the ingredients to our protein bites. Probably that way would be better. Can I have my trays, please? So we have the recipe here, and you're just going to take the ingredients. These are basic protein bites. And we added, instead of 1 cup or scoop of the complete mix. Wow, Rick, you might have to take over here talking. We added 2. We use honey as a sweetener. We have our gluten-free oats. You don't have to use gluten-free, but if you want, you can. It's your choice. We use sugar-free, no sugar added peanut butter, and we mixed them up. There, or you could do 1 scoop of vanilla, 1 scoop of chocolate for something different. So you mix this up in the bowl, guys. And when you go to roll them, Rick has a little trick. Take a little bowl of water and do a dip your fingers in for rolling. It's easier, okay? And then after you roll them into the ball, I fixed up a couple trays here. Remember last week I showed you how pretty they would be on this tray? Well, I just did that one in a circle to make it look like a wreath. Or you could pile them on here if you're serving them to your guests. But what if you're going somewhere? So now you want to take these with you. Look at that cute little Christmas tree I made. And you can. Now I just made one batch, so I divided this up between the 2 trays. Here's another tray with Christmas trees. And what I did is these are like dollar store plates. And you could stack them higher to make it look like a 3-dimensional tree. I added some these are just little gummy bells, and I made that for the trunk to add color. But there's not a lot of candy on here, but just enough to make it look festive. The silver tray here, we just put a little towel over the bottom, but you could wrap like a cute little napkin there and make it look more colorful. So these are all the things that you can do, and they're so easy. Hopefully that's the last time I cough. And so, okay, and then my husband gave me a mint. I think I'm gonna put that in my mouth, not to be rude, but I don't want to cough on you guys anymore. So if you're in need of some protein powder, it's called Complete. I can get some for you, so you can reach out to me and let me know if you need some of this. This is the best thing to make these energy bites. The other thing is the Tower Garden. For anybody that needs a Christmas present, we have beautiful, beautiful gifts. I mean, these Tower Gardens are so fantastic. And what about that person that always starts a New Year's resolution, or always wants to eat healthy? Boy, that didn't help. Rick is going to finish here. You got chili down the front. Look at guys. Look at
Chili's good.
Chili's good. Anyway, reach out to us if you're interested in the Tower Garden, because you can have this up and running in no time, and it's going to be so good for all your cooking and all your nutritional needs. And it's just a higher quality of vegetables that come off of it. I'm so sorry that I kept coughing on you guys today, but I have one more thing that I want to say. I have someone very special I want to thank for helping me with my cooking show, and that's Manny. He is known as Coach Manny, and he is with Catman Marketing. And if you want to do something like this, reach out to me and I will connect you guys up, because he is a phenomenal person helping us. And we just love him to death. So
Great.
You guys have a great week. Let us know if you need something for Christmas or for yourself. And if you're needing recipes, guys, we're here for you. We will give you any information you need. So have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye for now.